Hey squad, welcome back. Now, one of my favourite pastimes to just unwind and sort of take my mind off of things is to actually catch a good TV show or TV series on Netflix or Amazon Prime or one of those streaming services. At the moment, I'm digging into the second season of Godfather of Harlem, starring Forest Whitaker. Now, this is a fantastic drama based on the lives of two legends, Bumpy Johnson and Malcolm X. Besides the excellent script and acting and everything, another thing that really draws me to this show is the music, which combines contemporary R&B and hip hop, as well as those old school flavors, which I really dig. So today what I want to do is compose something, produce something as though I'm producing for the show. And I'd love to hear what you think, whether or not the production I come up with will actually fit. Okay, so as always, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're finding value in what I'm doing. And remember to switch on your notification bell so when my next video drops, you'll find out. Anyway, it's that time, so let's get into it. Okay, so in producing a piece for a program such as this, there are a few considerations I need to make at the very outset. The first thing is, what was the sound of the day? We're talking about the early 60s. What was actually happening at the time? Well, there was a lot going on, in particular to do with the civil rights movement. So there's a lot of tension, there was a lot of energy. It was not necessarily the most pleasant time for a lot of people. So therefore, I want to add some energy to this piece, and I want to use instruments and sounds that would reflect the time, the period. However, the production would be a modern production with reflections of that time period. Now, my sound palette will include instruments that were appropriate for that particular time. There was no electronic or computer-based beat making going on, no 808s at the time. So we're talking about live drums, electric bass, electric guitar, Fender Rhodes, some horns, strings, and percussion. These are the sort of sounds I'll be using to put this thing together. Okay, so I'm going to kick things off with a very simple drum groove. And I'm starting off with a hi-hat and clap pattern. Really, really simple. Something like this. Okay, there's 4 bars right there. And once again, I'll quantize that for now, but then I'm going to go and mess it up a little bit, make it a lot looser and create more of a live sounding groove. So I'm going to do that and bounce it down as an audio region, then move on to the next section. Okay, so the next element I'm adding is Fender Rhodes, with something like this. Yeah, that'll do. Once again, I'm going to be bouncing these down to audio and doing some processing, but I'll do that later on. Just to keep things moving along quickly, I'm going to go straight to the bass line, which is one of the most important elements to this whole piece. Okay, so now I want to lay down some guitar parts. And the first part is going to be a pick guitar, which is the easiest thing for me to do. The rest is going to take me a while to get down because I'm not a guitarist. Although I can play a few little bits on the guitar, it's going to take me quite a bit longer to get those other ideas out. So I'll just put this one down, get the other ideas down afterwards, and then play that back. Then we move to the next section. Okay, so I've managed to get my guitar parts down, and I've got 5 different tracks of guitars. They're all doing slightly different things, but adding nice colors to the overall canvas. I'll play that back to you in a second, and then afterwards we're going to lay down some horns. But as you can see right here, I'm always trying to make sure my housekeeping is in order. Everything is properly labeled. I'm color coding things depending on the sort of instrument group, and that keeps things tidy and easy to follow when the track is playing. Anyway, let me play back this little section here with the guitars, and then we'll move on to the horns. Okay, so the horns in Logic have really come of age, and there's so much you can do with them now. As you can see on the screen, I've got 3 different horns setups. We've got the Sugar Hill track, we've got the X-Brass Ensemble Staccato, and X-Brass Ensemble Legato. Sugar Hill sounds like this. Really good. I really like the way you get that swell when the notes are being held. Okay, so how about Extra Brass Ensemble Staccato? Okay, nice staccato hits. And we've got the X-Brass Ensemble Legato. Now these ones take a little bit of time to build. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a pattern that I'll use across all 3 of these tracks, and this is just going to add that next element of excitement as we continue to add parts that give the track energy. Okay, so we're getting close to finishing. Just a few more bits to be added, and then we'll be able to do a quick arrangement, mix, and we're out. Okay, so what I've got here now is I'm adding some strings. And strings were very much an important and integral part of the music of that time for adding that level of emotion to the track. Now I'm using the warm string section preset from Logic's Legacy library. So Legacy, Logic, Pop Strings, and warm string section. I'm also using some trills as well. I've bounced this down to audio, but I'll just play down here. So this preset is again under the Logic Legacy library, Jam Pack Symphony Orchestra, strings, and there's a treasure trove of great instruments that are hidden, buried within Logic that you can make really good use of. So let me play you what the strings sound like, and then the trills actually sound like this. It's all about placement when it comes to trills, but you'll hear it when I play this back. So I've just soloed the Fender Rhodes, the warm strings, and the trills. And I'll play that little section through so you can get an idea as to what these parts are adding to the overall picture. I think what I'm going to do is add a couple more elements just for embellishment, but I want to add a lead instrument. I'm not sure if it's going to be a guitar or a synth, but I'm going to come up with something. I'll put that down, and then we'll do the arrangement, we'll do the final mix, and then we'll be out. Okay, so let me add a couple of little bits, maybe some rises, maybe some effects. I'll come back, then we'll put down the final lead section and then call it a day. Okay, so I figured it out. I'm going to lay down a lead guitar part over the arrangement just on the second 8-bar section. This is what the melody sounds like. So that's the general idea. It's going to take me a few takes, so I'm going to put this down while we play out. Now remember, if you find value in my content, hit that like button. It really helps to get the algorithm to push my videos further out. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and make sure you check back in real soon for more. Okay, let's do this.